Red Bull team has gathered quite a reputation of being too harsh on their junior drivers. Many times I read articles or comments about how cruelly they discarded the drivers they promoted from their sister team. Red Bull's team principal, Christian Horner, has spoken about this in an interview not long ago. In this video, we'll go into what Horner actually said and what my personal take on the matter is. I'm Wimbo with another F1 news video. Oracle Red Bull Racing is the only team on the grid with a sister team. AlphaTauri is a team where drivers from the Red Bull Junior program can get their miles in and gather experience to then ultimately proceed to the big team. This is exactly what happened with Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon after Daniel Ricciardo left in 2019. Unfortunately, neither of those two drivers managed to impress at Red Bull. Gasly was replaced by Albon, who struggled in 2020, and was replaced by Sergio Perez in 2021. Christian Horner had a few things to say about these decisions. The key thing in the appointment of Checo was his experience, and it had been unfair perhaps on the previous two guys to bring them in so soon. Perez can handle the pressure better. Checo is mature enough to be able to deal with that and handle that, and I think he's looking to continue to evolve and improve his own performance, so it's good to see him looking competitive. Horner used the words perhaps unfair to describe that even though both drivers were keen to join Red Bull, they weren't prepared to be teammates with Max Verstappen, something that Perez is dealing with much better. On that subject, he said, "It's tough for him having Max Verstappen as your teammate. I mean, he's setting the barometer in Formula 1 currently." Obviously, the F1 news world focused on that tiny part of the quote, and most headlines suggested that Gasly and Albon were treated poorly by Red Bull. I strongly disagree with that. We must understand that Red Bull dropped Verstappen in an F1 car at age 17, and then promoted him at 18, and he won 2 races that season. This is the way they work, and there's no better way to find out than to just give them a shot. From what I gathered, during the time Gasly was at Red Bull, Gasly had lost the trust of his side of the garage after crashing twice during testing. A rumoured altercation with Adrian Newey in the garage sealed his fate, and he was demoted back to the sister team. With Red Bull having that option, Gasly could pick up his career again and scored podiums and a win before leaving for Alpine in 2023. Alex Albon actually did impress for a while in 2019 after replacing Gasly. Unfortunately for him, Newey designed a pretty fast car in 2020, but not easy to drive. This messed with his confidence, and I think the season was summed up with his desperate quote in the car about Toro Rosso drivers racing him too hard. He was demoted to reserve and sim driver, and was credited a lot by Red Bull for the good job he did setting up the cars for Verstappen and Perez. Eventually, he moved to Williams, where he's team leader now. Both Gasly and Albon's careers were made possible by Red Bull, and I don't think they get enough credit for that, from the media and haters alike. Horner said it was perhaps unfair to put them beside Verstappen with little experience, but nowhere in his statement it said anything about not helping the drivers or regretting the demotion. Ironically, the same media that criticizes Red Bull for what happened to Albon and Gasly are the same people that ask what good having a junior team does if they hire somebody outside of the program. Well, I think Red Bull has learned their lesson. The second seat beside Verstappen is only for somebody as mentally strong as Checo. If you don't have a driver of that caliber, then hire somebody else who can do it. That way, the youngsters in the feeder series can develop and hopefully be ready for the real work. I think Red Bull is doing a hell of a job. Half of the grid has been involved with them in one way or another. Let's see who will make it through the ranks. By the way, if you like F2 and F3, my friend Wheel Sports has a new channel just for the feeder series. I'll leave a link in the description. So that's my video for today. Let me know what you think about it all. And please like, and if you're not subscribed, please do. There's lots more fun F1 content on the way. Take care now. Doei doei!